So there's a three-step process that you can use to amplify your experience on your resume. It's a way for you to take any job in your past history and make it more meaningful to a recruiter, a headhunter, or to a prospective employer. It's a three-step process. The first step in the process for any experience in your background is to name it. Now, of course, you're going to list the name of the company that you worked for, but does the recruiter or the hiring manager know that company? Does the recruiter know how large or small that company is or was when you were working there? And wouldn't that be important for them to know who you are and where you're coming from? So take, for example, a company like Monitronics. Okay, Monitronics is a Dallas-based provider of security and monitoring services. 2010 revenues were just over $270 million, and the company was acquired at the end of 2010 by a company called Ascent Media. They're based out of Colorado. They bought the company for $1.2 billion. Now, I've just given you a bunch of financial information about the company. Would that information be valuable to a recruiter or to a hiring manager? Absolutely yes, because you want to name where you're coming from. The experience needs to be named in terms of numbers. How large was the company? How large was your division? What was the size of your responsibility? And of course, speaking the universal language, which is the language of numbers. So that's how you name it. Then the next step is to claim it. Claim your role within the advancement and the progress that the company made. For example, did you hire a team of 10 new people, for example? Did you introduce 4 new web designs for separate divisions at the company? Were you responsible for an ERP implementation or something like that? So you need to lay claim to the role that you played in advancing the company. Finally, the last step is to frame it, to take the progress that you made and put it in the context of a time frame. If you hired 3 people in a 6-year time frame, that's not that impressive. But if you hire 3 people within 90 days and those 3 people got up to speed so fast that you were able to launch a new product in record time, that's pretty compelling. And by putting a time frame around your experience, by putting a time frame around the things that you did, the difference that you made becomes more meaningful. And so, by this 3-step process, name it, claim it, and frame it. And I'm not trying to be Dr. Seuss, but it just so happens that it rhymes. It's an easy way to remember. Name it, claim it, and frame it. You make any piece of your experience more meaningful to a potential hiring manager.